doing the fuel change himself. 40 seconds, slower than others. Not using air wrenches, as you can see. Now they've got to get a split pin into that jet, so that's going to take some time. There it goes. 52 seconds the stop, not good enough. But now we'll see the magic of Wayne Gardner as he tries to get this bike back into major contention.
In the strict way that Chris Peckham's run this race in past years, that split pin they put in the axle is not a standard component. That was a spring-loaded split pin, and normally they have a normal one that has to be operated by pliers.
I was speaking to Peckham earlier this week, Will, and while I didn't check that exact fact, I know that he's allowing split pins. What sort of split pin is another?
Well, I've seen them being used to keep sump fillers wired rather than wire, keep them closed, and it may be allowed, but in past years he's been awfully strict on things even like gluing washers together to make them easy to handle.
And in the pits is Dennis Neal.
Wayne, rider of bike number 2, you're in for a tyre change then. It was a little bit slow, 52 seconds we got it at. What was the main problem?
We had trouble getting the pin in, the split pin in, the hole, just the line up, just didn't line up, the nut didn't line up.
How was the bike handling out there?
It's wobbling a bit, the tyre's hopeless, it's shot, but everything seems to be going well.
So hopefully stick Wayne on it now with a fresh tyre and really go for it.
Yeah.
Try and make up the difference.
Yeah, Wayne should probably be able to go 2 seconds quicker than I can.
How are you finding the traffic?
Not too bad, it's pretty good. No, there's not too bad out there. I don't know how many bikes are in the race still, but that's pretty good.
And the race was on for third position between Bike 3, Andrew Johnson on the Honda 1100, and Bike 1, Rod Gray, co-riding with Neville Hiscock on the Suzuki 1100. There's number 3, that's Johnson, and behind him is Bike 1, Rod Gray. Now Gray had been holding third position, and Johnson again with this massive charge of his, as we saw earlier in the race, really starting to move through the field. They're both one lap down on the 2 race leaders, Jeff French in the lead from the John Pace Pete Byers Honda 1100. So Johnson's really now having to move to get back into the lead, or back onto the same lap as the leader. Right behind Andrew Johnson, we see the 5th place in the 750cc class. That's the Richard Schooler, Michael Dowson Yamaha 750, with Schooler at the helm at this stage. Schooler, a New Zealand rider who's been out here for a number of years now and has done very, very well in small class racing and small production class racing, whose big ambition next year is to find sponsorship to ride a big 1100cc production bike, as he's rounded up by Rob Phillis and Mick Cole on the big 1100 Suzuki, and that's probably why Schooler wants it. Co-riding with him is Michael Dowson, all the way from Western Australia, who currently is leading the Australian 350cc Grand Prix Championships, and is a rider of quite some ability, only 22 years of age, travels everywhere with his mum and dad, who faithfully drive their utility, or rather their van, across the Nullarbor Plain several times a year to see young Michael race in the eastern states, and they sleep in the back of the van as well. So a real family effort, and going well in 4th position in class.
Here's Andrew Johnson chasing, forcing bike number 3, he's on 3, bike number 5, the John Pace Honda that he shares with Pete Byers, and the Victorian is in a big, big hurry. And I thought that he'd made it there as he surges in also with Malcolm Best and Neary on bike 39. But there's only one way this dice is going to be resolved in the mind of Andrew Johnson on 3, and that is that he's going to unlap himself on John Pace, who's in 2nd place and was a lap ahead. He's now about 57 seconds in front, 58. And Johnson's trying to pull that back. He's got an hour and 3/4 to do it. An hour and 3/4. There's plenty of time actually for this flying Victorian and his co-rider Pretty. to get back onto even terms, with bike 5 in second place and bike 7, the race leader, Jeff French and Alan Blanco for the Matic team. All of them Hondas.
Lying sixth in the 750cc class is the only lady competitor in the event, Jenny Coates. Right here, she's 14th outright. Steering way ahead of Jenny there. Pushes the big Kawasaki, the 750cc Kawasaki around the track. Co-riding with her is her boyfriend, 21-year-old Leon Faber, who's done most of the mechanical work on this bike. But Jenny has really been one of the most improved riders of the 1982 production bike series. She started the year perhaps 2 seconds a lap down on lap times to Leon Faber, but she's come right up into contention and right now is doing an excellent job as she follows bike 31, Charlie Wilkie, the New Zealand rider on a Honda 550, to hold 14th outright. Jenny's an intensive care sister at Westmead Hospital, and coincidentally she's looking after Gary Leggett, the car racing driver who was injured during practice for the James Hardy 1000 2 weeks ago. She certainly knows quite a bit about looking after people in injured situations, although thankfully she's never ever been seriously injured herself. She and Leon took first in the 750cc production class in the 1980 Coke 800, and they've been up there and one of the most enthusiastic members of the production bike series ever since.
Bike 27 is running 7th in the 750 class, 16th outright, Rod Brown and Terry Paviel on a Yamaha 750, but they've had their troubles because they qualified 3rd fastest of the class and 18th overall. And Rod Brown partnered Len Willing to victory in the, to second place, sorry, in the Yamaha 750 race earlier this year. Terry Paviel is one of the front runners in the 250cc production race class on water-cooled Yamahas. Both good operators, but slipped out of contention. But you can see from the way they're riding, hard riders, smooth. That's Brown riding at the moment.
Recording on 2 tapes. That's back up as well as the main. Troy was back in second place in the front. Really enjoying. I think this is the first, talking to his picture down there, this is really the first Castrol.
The race leader is on bike number 7, Jeff French and Alan Blanco. And attacking, looking on the left side, going down the left side and unlapping himself is the charging Victorian Andrew Johnson. And watch him thread his way through the traffic in front. 3 abreast through that right-hand kink, which is quite a substantial corner at the speed they're going. And look at the distance he's pulling out on the race leader. He's got 1 hour and 27 minutes to pull back a lap and to be actually arguing over the lead itself. He's in 3rd place at the moment, and we've got a pit stop still to come, of course, for all of those bikes, all of them Hondas, all of them capable of running about 1 hour and a half on a tank, a little bit longer for this one, which was the longest out of all the leading Hondas, but there'll be a stop before the end for him. So getting that stop right will be critical, but it's not a particularly tricky one, just a churn of fuel. The man he's immediately after now is bike number 5 in 2nd place, John Pace and the Queenslander Byers. Byers riding that bike at the moment.